Hey guys, so it seems to be challenge season when it comes to the Facebook ads world. I know my agency has been bombarded with people who are wanting to launch with 5-day challenges. And so before I get into the actual strategies that we're utilizing to get excellent results for our clients, I wanted to discuss first, because I get this question a lot, Laurel, should I do a paid challenge or should I do a free challenge? Okay, so here are my thoughts on that from myself and my colleagues. I love masterminding with other people who also have agencies and who run plenty of ads. And we're all seeing the same thing when it comes to the challenge space. We have all had clients who were just really adamant about running paid challenges regardless of what we're seeing. And so my recommendation to you is I would stay clear of a paid challenge right now unless you have a proven challenge that you have been selling again and again, because I am seeing it, my colleagues are seeing it. Paid challenges are really hard to sell right now because there are so many challenges out there. So that's my advice. Now, of course, I'm not always right. If you have something that is already proven, by all means go for it. But I'm just going to share what I am seeing within my own agency and what some of my colleagues are seeing in their agency. And so you guys are probably like, who the heck is this chick? Who is this Laurel? And so I have been doing video marketing and Facebook advertising for over 10 years. I've been doing video marketing much longer than that. I worked 19 years in television. And so lately I've been working a lot with the guys from Social Vantage, and they have this amazing Facebook group. And so they asked me to kind of come in and start doing Facebook training with you guys on a weekly basis. So if you guys do have requests for training, if you don't follow me, definitely follow my profile. I'm consistently doing live training. But if you guys have specific requests that you want me to do in this group, like long form training, I am more than happy on Fridays to hop on here and give you guys the Facebook ads training that you guys need, because there are so many pricey Facebook ads courses. But me and the guys here at Social Vantage, we are going to make sure that you guys are taken care of and that you guys are going to get a lot of value without having to pay us a dime, and just learn from what we're already doing. This is not something that we're learning from webinars or, videos that we're watching online. This is stuff that we're actually doing with our clients. And I actually have this binder right here full of the strategies that we have been doing over the last several years. I've got some that no longer work. And so every single Friday, I'm going to be teaching you guys only the things that are currently working, stuff that we have implemented throughout the week. And so this week, my agency has been working on a lot of challenge ads. And so I'm going to walk you guys through the challenge launch that we did over the last several weeks that this week has proven to be very successful. One of our clients who has a high ticket offer. And so what we started doing was, let's start from the beginning. So one of the very first things that I had to quickly identify was that she didn't have a warm audience. She is someone who she's got a 7-figure business, but she's never advertised online. So she didn't have, like all of those warm Facebook audiences. The only thing that we had to work on was an email list. And so she was running a 5-day challenge that happened this past week. So today's the last day. And today was the day that she did the big pitch. And so I'll walk you guys through, literally, I'm going to tell you guys the kind of ads we did, the campaign setup, everything, okay? So we didn't have any warm audiences to work off of. So don't worry if you are like, Laurel, I don't have any warm audiences that I can use. That's okay, because this is going to be very helpful for you. And so one of the very first things I did was I grabbed her email list, because she's been in business for several years. And so she had an email list that had about 3,500 people in it. Now, you can upload this email list into the Facebook ads platform, but here's the thing. Facebook normally typically finds about 60% of the people who are on that list, because they have to match the email address that people join Facebook with. And a lot of times people don't join Facebook with the same email that they use to buy things, or the same email that they do business with. And so that's the first problem with sometimes having to upload an email list. Facebook's not going to be able to connect with all of those people, but 60% of the list typically Facebook can match up. And so I uploaded her email list, and then the very first thing that I did was I created a lookalike audience, meaning I told Facebook, I said, okay, here's about 2,100 people. Go and find 2.1 million more people that fit the profile of this specific audience. Now, before I create a lookalike audience, I'm looking for about 1,000 people in that custom audience. Okay. And if you guys have any questions as I'm going through here, definitely drop them in the comments. I love answering questions, especially as I'm going through this. Because if you have a question, probably people who are going to be watching the replay are going to have questions. So definitely feel free to interrupt with chat in the chat box, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions too. Because we want this to be interactive. And so what we did was we created a lookalike audience based off of her email list. So now we had two things, right? We had her email list, and then we had a lookalike audience. Well, I love starting with lookalike audiences because those audiences are literally copycat profiles of the people who have engaged or worked with us before. So instead of just going straight to the Amy Porterfield type stuff, so what my client does is she teaches people how to create online courses. And so instead of going straight to the Amy Porterfield audiences, instead of going to the Russell Brunson audiences, what I did was I took the lookalike audiences of the email list, and I had Kat do something that we call a piece of power content. And so what I call power content are 3 to 5 minute videos. They talk specifically to your audience. And so we made sure that she was talking specifically to course creators in this video. And then we ran it to our lookalike audiences. Why did I do that? Why did I do that before going to the Amy Porterfields and the Russell Brunsons and the Gary Vaynerchuks? I did that because a lookalike audience is always going to be so much closer to our ideal audiences than going to those cold targeted audiences. And so whenever I'm launching a campaign, the very first audience I always like to go to are my custom audiences, right? Your warm audiences. That is always, as Nick Peterson would say, the fastest path to cash is always going to be your warm audiences. And the second best audiences are always going to be your lookalike audiences, because the lookalike audiences are based off of your targeted audiences. Because you have to think about this, a lot of people who are running ads are targeting the Amy Porterfields, they're targeting the Russell Brunsons, right? And so those targeting options are going to have a lot of competition. So what I like to do is I like to find one warm custom audience that I can create a lookalike audience out of, and then run a video view campaign so that I can create more lookalike audiences based off of the time that people spent watching those videos. And so I do 2 lookalike audiences based off of those videos. The first one is people who have watched 25% or more of that video. And then the second is people who have watched 100% of the video, okay? So now I have 3 lookalike audiences that I can utilize in addition to, of course, we're gonna do like the Amy Porterfields. We're gonna test lookalike audiences versus the cold targeted audiences, okay? So now let's talk ads, okay? Now that we've got the audiences out of the way, I built lookalike audiences and I built some cold targeted audiences. Obviously, this person helps other coaches build courses. So we're going to go after the typical online marketing coaches targeting audiences, nothing fancy. And so I'm going to split test the lookalikes against the cold targeted audiences, okay? So let's move into the types of ads that I created. So whenever we are launching any kind of lead generation campaign, and we're talking webinars, we're talking challenges, we're talking ebooks, I am always going to create 3 different ads. And then I'm going to run those 3 different ads across all of those different ad sets. Okay. And so here's my layout. I do one video ad that has a 60-second type elevator pitch. Okay. So you're going to literally state the desire or struggle. You're going to give them a promise of value within your offer. Like if you watch this webinar, you're going to learn XYZ. And then I just say, hey, click the link below. It's a very simple 60-second elevator pitch. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a written form of that elevator pitch, and we're going to run it with a graphic photo that has the title of the challenge or has the title of the webinar. And then the last one, we're going to do more of a VSL long form post that's going to pre-qualify people. And then we're going to run a more organic. So this photo that we're going to run with the long form post is just going to be like a regular photo, you know, of them having fun, something that looks very organic inside the newsfeed. So those are the 3 ads. And then we put those 3 ads underneath each ad set. Okay, so typically what I'm doing is I'm creating a lookalike campaign and I'm running a cold targeted audience campaign. I'm very OCD. I like to separate my lookalike audiences from my cold targeted audiences, as well as my custom audiences. So we had one campaign for her warm audience, we had one campaign for her lookalike audience, and then we had another campaign for her cold targeted audiences. So we're targeting people like Amy Porterfield and Marie Forleo. And then we did straight to cold traffic, okay? So we created these ad sets and we ran them straight to the cold traffic, right? Because your lookalike audience is cold traffic, and also the cold targeted audiences. We also ran it to her warm audiences, because now that we ran that piece of power content, we don't just have an email list of warm people, right? Now we actually have a warm audience of people who have been engaging with her content over the last couple of days, right? So now we ran the challenge. So typically also, let's talk about cost. Like, how much should you pay for leads for your challenges? Now, if you are in the business to customer, you're always going to pay less for your leads, okay? So if you are business to business, you're going to pay a little bit higher. So in the business to customer, so let's say you are in the fitness niche and your customers are just everyday Joes at home, you're going to pay less for a 5-day challenge. You want to look for probably a $2 to $6 price range for that type of challenge. But if you are in the online marketing space, that space is very saturated, and those types of people, they know what a challenge is. It's built to upsell. So it's a little bit harder and a little bit more expensive to get them in, but utilizing this strategy, we were able to get Kat leads for her challenge between the price of $1 to $3. Okay, so we spent a little under $2,000 in ad spend, but she did have an upsell. So after people opted into her funnel, there was a $20 upsell, which 120 people took. So that liquidated her ad spend. So it helps if you have like a little upsell at the end of that. So basically we ran 3 different campaigns. Again, a warm campaign, a lookalike campaign, and then a cold targeted campaign. Her warm audience converted for a little over $1. Her lookalike audiences converted within the $3.50 range. And then her cold targeted audiences, like the Amy Porterfields, they ranged, the price per challenger ranged between $5 to $7. So, but we were able to get in between all of that. We were able to get in 420 people, and 120 of those people had bought the upsell, and then 100 of those people so far have bought her $97 offer for her. She's doing a live event that's $97. And then at that $97 event, that's where she's going to pitch her high ticket, where she typically sells 20% of her audience at these live events into her high ticket program. So we do have some data. We don't have some data from Facebook ads, but so we're pretty sure. So she already liquidated her ad spend, right, with her self-liquidating offer at the end of that challenge. Now she's profitable already, because she already sold 102, I think it's 102 tickets to that $97 event. So now she's made, like 10K. And then at that live virtual event, she's going to upsell those people. She's looking at probably a 20% conversion rate if her data is accurate. Again, she's never ran ads to this event. This is the first time that she's getting all these leads from ads. So it's going to be interesting to see. But even if she only converts, between 5 to 10% at that live event, her high ticket is between $10,000 to $15,000. So we're looking at huge profits from an ad spend that was less than $2,000. So I hope that you guys got a lot of value out of this challenge strategy. If you guys have any questions at all about, or you want to see something, or, you want to see like a script template, I've got all of that, guys. Like, I literally am willing to share whatever you guys ask for. Like I said, me and the guys here at Social Advantage, we want to make sure that you guys are taken care of. This is not just going to be a Facebook group that's just going to sit here and people congregate and not get help. We definitely want to make sure that everyone here is getting the help that they need. So if you want me to personally answer any of your questions, be sure to post the question underneath this video or find any one of my posts, because those are the ones that I'm going to get notifications for. Do not try to tag me, guys, because I do have a coaching program that has over 1,000 students in it. And so my students are always tagging me. So if you tag me, I'm probably not going, I'm just going to be honest, I'm not going to see it. But I will be looking for questions underneath my videos and also underneath the posts that I do inside this group. So Waleed asked, selling info products like courses, how much budget should I need to start selling? It depends on what price your product is and how much money you have to test. I always tell people this. In the testing phase, I would dedicate at least $500 to $2,000 for the first month just to test, but your test budget has to be a budget that you're okay with never ever seeing again. Because test budgets, and that's what I told Kat whenever we first started that challenge ad, that ad campaign that we did, over the last couple of weeks. I said, you've never ran ads before for this. You have to give me a budget that you are okay with not seeing results, never getting back. And I've been doing challenge ads for a while. So luckily she went with an agency that had, experience doing the ads. But I tell this to every single client, even though I've been doing ads for a very long time, every single offer, if it's not proven, we're not magicians. We don't know how their audience is going to, there's so many things that come into play. You have to have a funnel that converts. We have to have the messaging. We have to have the offer. It has to be something that people want. We can have the best ads in the world, but if your offer isn't good, it's just not going to work out. But I hope that you guys got a lot of value out of what's working this week. Like I said, if you guys have any questions at all, drop them below this video. And I will see you guys next week. And if you guys have any requests, I did a post earlier in the group today. You'll find it. I'm wearing a red t-shirt in my photo introducing myself. If you guys have any trainings for next Friday, drop them below this video or find that other post. And I will see you guys on Friday. Happy weekend, guys.